I remember when I was young, I could not talk to girls. I just felt embarrassed. I couldn't talk to girls that I liked. That was the toughest part. I was just afraid. I just had this thing built in my head that they hated me or that they just did not like me. And I remember one time, this girl I was just in love with as a child, I remember that I spit in her hair because I was so pent up with wanting to just tell her that I liked her maybe or something that I couldn't. So I just gathered every bit of genetic ability, liquid ability in my face and just deposited onto her head one time. And I ended up getting suspended for that. Dude, I went through a time where I was so nervous to talk to women. The only thing I could use were like shitty pickup lines, garbage ones. They had the one, are you a polar bear? Because you just, I'm a polar bear. I'm about to break the ice. That garbage, verbal. And then I used to have this one line. In hindsight, this shit is horrible. I was like, let's play Hiroshima. I'll lay on my back and you blow the shit out of me. So that was, but I mean, that's where I was. I was at a point where personally, I couldn't find a comfort level where I could speak to women. And how to get through that, I would find you have to get through it, and you're gonna have to practice. And what I would practice is listening. I'd practice listening, man. I think you could be thinking, because I personally used to think that I had to start the conversation every time. Sometimes you can just listen. Just listen. I mean, a lot of women, all they want is a man to listen to them and to care. And I think if you start with that, with the listening, then you'll eventually find spots where you can interject and offer something to the conversation, And also, and you can just try things also. If you want to try little things to talk to a woman, I would try little things like, what kind of candy do you like? Shit that like a 5-year-old would say. Because all it's about is starting the conversation. You don't need to think or worry 3 or 4 steps in advance. Just say, hello, my name is so-and-so, Just little things like that are really the starters. And you have to get your self-confidence up. Because if you are thinking that women don't like you, then they're just going to sense that, because the thing is, they probably do like you, they probably do. And you just have to find some ways to be comfortable around them. So comfortability will lead to communication. So if you can get to being comfortable, you're going to be in a good spot. Now, you also, man, if you get hooked up on the drugs and that, you're going to have to start weaning yourself off of that. If the only way you can speak to women is at a rave on ecstasy, dude, that might not end well. So I don't know if you need to put on some house music and suck on a Claritin or something at the house, or start to wean yourself off of that behavior. So you can create some regular behaviors where you're actually, communicating to women in a regular way, man. And you can find a girl that you already know, and it doesn't have to be one that you're sexually interested in, and just communicate, just listen, practice, bruh, practice. And also, you don't want to be in a spot where you just take any girl that will take you. And for years I spent time in that place where I would just, any girl that would take me, I would accept, I would take. Even if she didn't have some of my values or qualities or anything, I just felt so less of myself. And I'm not saying that you feel this way about you, but I felt so less of myself that I just felt like I wasn't worthy of someone who was good for me or who I was good for. I was just hopefully worthy of anyone. And that was not a fun place to be. And you end up with people that you end up with being in a match that's not a real match, Because you want to end up, if you want to end up with a woman, and if you're looking for something long term, you're going to want to find a woman that's real. And if you don't always have to agree with girls, if they don't have your vibe, dude, then screw them. On to the next one, but just if you can get in your head that you have value and you have worth, which you do, bruh. You sound like a pretty legit dude, man. I'd probably go party with you, bruh. I'd probably do a couple bumps and put on a wig and let you practice conversation on me, But you don't want to end up with someone who doesn't deserve you just because you're afraid to feel like someone does deserve you.